Good afternoon, everybody. On Friday, this is Lorraine, Alternative Homesteading, and I hope everybody is doing well. I wanted to get on sooner today, but it was always one thing after the next, and then I got stuck on email and stuff. And then, of course, I'm watching some YouTube channels in the community, in the homesteading and farming and off-grid communities. And it appears as if the intel agencies are causing strife amongst some of the very well-known YouTube creators. When I say well-known, they've got hundreds of thousands of followers, have been on YouTube for a long time, know each other, everybody knows who they are, whomever you speak to, everybody knows who these folks are. Well, it turns out that there was a Tractor Supply incident, and I'm so against this, folks. Drag queens want to dress in drag, that's their business, If they want to dress as women and make money on the side and, tuck in their penises and do whatever they do, so be it. But do not parade that around our children. Do not attempt to indoctrinate our children. Well, it turns out that Tractor Supply was hosting some event and the drag queens were there and they were parading in front of children. And I'm just so against this. But anyway, I'm going to cut to the chase. That there were two YouTube creators that were, one in particular was speaking out about it. It's the first time I'd heard of it. And then another YouTube creator started talking about it because her subscribers mentioned it to her. Well, it turns out, I believe that some of these subscribers are provocateurs. They're intentionally stalking, harassing, posting information, surveilling these YouTube creators because they are influencers. And we know how it is with influencers, Influencers, in the eyes of the intel agencies, are whistleblowers. and you know how that works, right, folks? But anyway, I believe that certain people were set up to cause strife. And a bunch of subscribers went to one creator and mentioned what was going on, and she reported on it. Then somebody called her a liar, and they actually never called her a liar. And these are just instigators, provocateurs, just the way our neighbors do with targeted people, right, folks? But this is what they're trying to do within the homesteading and farming and off-grid communities, is trying to create dissent and make people feel suspect and not trust these individuals, just the way they do with targeted folks. But I just wanted to bring that to your attention. That's actually not the purpose of this recording. The purpose of this recording, and I've been wanting to do this for a while, this is for evidence purposes, but it's also to let those individuals know, because people question me. Like, when I lived in Manalapan, New Jersey, 52 Sutton Drive for all those 30 years, and I started becoming targeted there and harassed, and my house was broken in so many times and the police did nothing. I want to tell you that I did follow up multiple police reports, right? So I'm going to read one to you because I filed an incident report with the Manalapan Police Department back in 2017. And it was just ridiculous that there were lies of omission, and of course everybody's going to be chuckling here, but I didn't realize I was a targeted person at this point, right? I didn't really know what was going on, so I'm questioning, why are the police lying about my incidents, right? So I write an email, and I hand-delivered and had a signature on this letter dated April 26, 2017. I'm going to show it to you right here so that you know that it's true. And that's who I sent it to. And I sent a letter to correct these incident reports because they were wrong. They were wrong, folks. So I'm going to read it to you. This is April 26, 2017 via email and hand delivery. Lieutenant Thomas Mantle, Police Department, Township of Manalapan, 120 Route 522 and Taylor's Mills Road, Manalapan, New Jersey, 07726, regarding corrections to incident 17 M as in Mary, N as in Nancy, 08058, April 8th. Incident 17 M as in Mary, N as in Nancy, 08421, April 11. And incident 17 M as in Mary, N as in Nancy, 09013, April 17th, all 2017. Dear Lieutenant Mantle, thank you for the opportunity to meet you today, April 26, 2017, regarding corrections to narrative inaccuracies within the above referenced 3 incident reports. In reviewing the report, I noticed several other instances where the statements of facts were not completely accurate, and I have listed them below. Please make the appropriate corrections. On April 8th, 2017, the incident report 17MN08058, please note, I received a copy of the above incident report, a cover sheet attached to 3 pages, and page 5, yet pages 3 and 5, and 3-5, yet pages 2 and 4 were missing. Would you have those pages? Please correct the following facts. I left the residence on Friday, April 7, 2017, approximately 5 p.m. to feed for the cats at the Pine Brook, and then left for a 6 p.m. dinner appointment in Manalapan, arriving home approximately 8:30 p.m. Arriving home, I noticed several disturbed items in the house, yet discounted it until I attempted to leave the house the next morning, Saturday, April 8th, and noticed break-in marks on the door from the house to the garage. That door was previously left open until a neighbor mentioned seeing a man parking his car and wandering around at 2:30 a.m. When I locked the garage door to the house, it was broken into. My suspicions about the accelerated damage to the house inside and out were now confirmed. I immediately phoned the garage door installation technician to reset the password and then called your agency. 2 officers arrived. I was in the garage when the technician was resetting the password. They entered the house briefly and then left, and a 3rd officer entered, walked around the property, and walked upstairs to view the disheveled closets. That police officer asked when the last time I painted the door was, and that he was a locksmith prior to becoming an officer, and while the report states that I am known as a cat lady, this is not something I ever stated to any of the officers at any time. The only person I'm aware of that refers to me as quote-unquote cat lady is a female employee, former volunteer, who has been stalking me at the Pine Brook Care Center. My 501c3 nonprofit Cat Rescue has permission to care for a feral cat colony at Pine Brook and to reduce the animal population at that location by spaying and neutering. The verbiage added to the narrative is not my language, and none of that information was stated by me. I pointed out damage to the garage doors, the garage trim, the hardwood floor, laptop, kitchen pail, in addition to missing items. There were noticeable striation marks on the locks, and the door jamb had been pried open, as confirmed by the garage installer, locksmith, friends, and the alarm company, and the insurance adjuster. I was not provided the name or badge number or an incident number of the police officer. I phoned my attorney Monday to discuss the pattern of vandalism from Pine Brook Care Center Cat Colony carrying over to my home and explained the events on Saturday. At his recommendation, I returned to your agency on Tuesday, April 11, to obtain an incident report number. I met with Patrolman D. Felippis and provided a list of damaged, missing, and disturbed items as of that date. Note, the security cameras on that date of the break-in were not connected to or associated with the alarm system. Even if the cameras on that date caught an image, it would not have triggered an alarm activation to your agency. In addition, the Wi-Fi connecting both the alarm and cameras had been interrupted on at least 2 dates and times when I was away from the residence. The alarm company indicated there was no glitch in their system and they were working fine. The Wi-Fi connection was intentionally interrupted by, quote unquote, someone. When interrupted, the alarm would not be activated even if there was a triggering event. Verizon Fios confirmed that their service was working. And this is, folks, the police was blaming me, saying I had no evidence because my cameras didn't catch anything, and how come there was no triggering events. So I'm disputing their claim. I do not see the point of the reporting officer stating that I appear to be paranoid, given that my findings were affirmed by everyone but the police officer, and the use of that word is inappropriate. That has no place in an official report. It is harmful and untrue. Paranoid is not part of my vocabulary nor personality. I am a Manalapan resident reporting the reality of a crime at my residence. The pattern of vandalism over the past 3 years at Pinebrook has carried over to my home. The break-in has been confirmed by several professionals in their field. This is a serious matter. Number 2, April 11, 2017, incident 17MN08421. Please note, I received a copy of the above incident report, a cover sheet attached to 3 pages, 5 and 6. Pages 2 and 4 were missing. It appears that it was printed on 2 sides and only one side was copied and sent to me. Please correct the following facts. At the suggestion of my attorney, I arrived at the agency to provide a list of items that were damaged and to obtain an incident report number for the April 8th break-in. I did not state that I believed to know the names of the activists involved in my break-ins, as there are usually many people involved, so that no blame is placed on any one individual. However, also Officer DeFilippis asked the specific names of groups that I had problems with in the past. So I provided those names. However, I did not state that I knew specifically who was responsible, and the names of the 2 groups mentioned in the report should be immediately removed. They were not volunteered by me, but were provided as speculation in response to Officer DeFilippis's question. And I made it clear when I responded. I did mention that the husband of one of the women was a retired police officer. There were noticeable striation marks on the locks and door jamb and had been pried open, confirmed by the garage installer, locksmith friends, and the alarm company and the insurance adjuster. The report should be corrected to show the following, which was reported at the time. The left gate to the yard was open when they are always closed. My neighbor confirmed seeing the gate open, and upon entering the yard, I noticed damage to both sheds, in addition to a pet door being destroyed. Gate locks have been added. Every closet and drawer were noticeably rummaged through, and items were taken from upstairs and placed downstairs, and items from the attic above the garage were stuffed in my desk, and a pet wee pad was shoved inside the office bookcase. This appears to not just be a regular break-in, but intentional vandalism. In addition to the auto windows being in the open position, there were slice marks on the plastic trim and window damage. It is the same pattern of slice marks on vandalized items both at the cat colony and at my home, and I believe this is not a coincidence. Number 3, April 17, 2017. Incident 17MN09013, Officer Casella. Please note, folks, Officer Casella was at my house with Tina Booth. And he's the officer you could see prancing on my driveway in that video. Please note, I received a copy of the above incident report. A cover sheet was attached to pages 3 and 4. Page 4 of 4, yet pages 2 of 4 is missing. It appears that whoever copied all the reports made the same copying error, if not copying both sides of the page. The first paragraph of this narrative was copied from a previous report. It is 1, factually untrue, and 2, was not discussed by me at this officer's house visit. The pattern of vandalism is the same as experienced and reported at the Pine Brook Care Center. While I believe the damage is caused by animal activists, I have no proof of who is performing the work and never offered an opinion of or fact of who specifically is committing the crimes. For the past 3 years, I have lived in Manalapan for 28 years without prior incident. I have been harassed and vandalized at the Pine Brook Care Center cat colony by a myriad of individuals, some of which are reported in documented police reports. Please remove sentences 4 through 7. And note, the security cameras on that date of the break-in were not connected to or associated with the alarm system. Even if the cameras on that date caught an image, it would not have triggered an alarm activation to your agency. In addition, the Wi-Fi connecting both the alarm and cameras had been interrupted on 2 dates and times when I was away from the residence. The alarm company indicated there was no glitch and their system was working fine. The Wi-Fi connection was intentionally interrupted by quote-unquote someone. When interrupted, the alarm would not be activated even if there was a triggering event. Verizon Fios confirmed their services were working fine. And on April 12th, the Wi-Fi was disabled by someone while I was away from the residence between 8:23 p.m. and 9:04 p.m. Camera events were triggered, yet those images were oddly expired or unavailable for viewing on the same day, confirmed by a technology person. And there have been 4-hour Wi-Fi gaps at least twice, and Verizon Fios has not reported any problems with the service or theirs. As noted above, I do not see any point of the reporting officer stating that I appear to be paranoid. Given that my findings were affirmed by everyone but the officer, the use of that word is inappropriate. That has no place in an incident report. It is harmful and untrue. Paranoid is not part of my vocabulary nor personality. I'm a Manalapan resident reporting the reality of a crime at my residence. The pattern of vandalism over the past 3 years at Pine Brook has carried over to my home. The break-ins have been confirmed by several professionals in their field, and this is a serious matter. My mother also did not state that she would monitor me to see if something is escalating. She's concerned about the ongoing vandalism by Pine Brook employees and their associates. Insinuating I have a mental health issue is a disturbing fabrication with no factual basis. Thank you again for the opportunity to discuss this matter with you today. I appreciate the time taken from your already busy day. If you require additional information, do not hesitate to call me. Best regards, Lorraine Valenti. And that was directed to Lieutenant Thomas Mansell, who has subsequently been promoted. Crime pays, folks. And I'm going to show you some of this letter here. And you can, if you want to go look it up yourself, folks, go right ahead. Manalapan, New Jersey, 07726. Incident Report 1. Go read it for yourselves. Incident Report 2. And 3. So, folks, I just wanted to give you a little bit more information. And for those people that think that I don't follow up, I do. I want everybody to see what goes on when you've been chosen as a targeted person. How you're discredited, defamed. There's a false narrative being spread. And this is back in April of 2017 when I wasn't really sure what was going on. All I knew was that since 2012, there's been a lot of vandalism, home break-ins, etc. And when I finally started documenting it and presenting the evidence to the Manalapan Police Department, not only they did fabricated incident reports and discredited me, included things that didn't belong there, and failed to include my evidence, none of my reports ever made it to their police blotter. Every crime makes it to the police blotter. They intentionally left out every one of my incident reports from the police blotter. And if it is not in the police blotter, then the local newspaper will never see it and it will never be reported. This is to document the guilt and the defamation and the lies of certain individuals in the Manalapan Police Department. At the time, the chief of police was Michael Fountain, who was sued. And the department was sued, and the town was sued by one of their own police officers for being fired after he whistle blew. And that lawsuit is actually still online. It's Edward Hedden versus the Manalapan Police Department. Chief of Police Michael Fountain, who has subsequently retired, and the Township of Manalapan, New Jersey, 07726. The case was actually settled, and I believe that there was a gag order. But this is Lorraine Alternative Homesteading. I appreciate all the newcomers. Thank you for following. And like, comment, share if you feel inclined to do so. And I hope everybody's doing well on this Friday. I'll have more to post. There's a lot of information that I want to post on some other topics that may be of interest to you. Some of you know that I have 2 degrees in psychology. My undergraduate degree is in psychology with a concentration in abnormal, deviant, and violent psychology. Also a concentration in addictive behavior. And then my master's degree was in psychology, concentration in health, the psychological patterns of disease. And my master capstone thesis topic was on the negative side effects of medicating children diagnosed with ADHD. So I would like to discuss some of what my research was at that time. Now, you have to understand this is a long time ago. There's been a lot of research done before that time. And of course, I have additional research that I would add to it now, given what I know about radio frequencies, Wi-Fi, 5G, etc. But I wanted to bring forth some of the research that I performed back then, and I think it will help a lot of individuals, particularly since how do I phrase it? The COVID issue, but and the GAB issue. So once again, this is Lorraine Alternative Homesteading signing off for now.